me. I'm gonna turn off the video. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. I'm gonna get everything ready so that we could get started for trading. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Let me make sure everything's set up for you guys. All right, awesome. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go straight into it. I hope everybody's having a good night. I'm gonna go over the basics. I'm gonna go over the psychology. I'm gonna go over a trading view tutorial. I'm gonna teach you guys about the different settings, so that way you guys could, be able to have pretty much the same stuff that I have. Let me clear all this stuff out for you guys. I'll be looking at the chat back and forth, so whatever questions that you guys have, just save it until we go over everything pretty much. All right. Let me turn this. Let me close this. I'll put this up. All right, cool. All right, guys. So I know everybody had fun on the last live trade session. I'm gonna make sure that I keep everything super detailed. One thing that I like about the stuff that I teach, to everybody is the fact that now this is not gonna be recorded. That's the whole point, so that everyone could come onto the live trade room. Hold on.
Where has the just send me the picture.
All right. Hold on, guys. All right, guys. So yeah. So last time that I did this, I broke everything down. I'm gonna keep it very super simple, so that way the newest person can come on here and pretty much know everything that's needed for them to start trading, self-sufficiently. The whole point of this whole thing is so that way we could create a community of people that will come on here and not really know too much about Forex. And even if you do, you better have some knowledge to be able to be self-sufficient when it comes to trading. I'll go over the basics, everything, the psychology. But one of the main things that I want to talk about when it comes to the psychology of this whole thing is that trading is around 90% psychological and 10% technical, right? A lot of this has to, we really have to detach our emotions from this and really respond due to principle. We don't want to react based off emotions. We want to respond due to principles of the things that we know. Once I show you guys the basics and everything that's needed, you guys will be able to come onto these charts, draw things up, and then just pretty much be ready, for certain trades so you guys could, be able to profit on a daily basis. Even if you're just making an average of $500 a day, that's a 6-figure income that's coming from your computer and your phone. And I'm gonna break all that stuff down for you. But what I'm gonna go over first is the psychological aspect when it comes to this, all right? I've been trading since last August, was actually in the military, I was able to actually be out, and now I'm pretty much just job free. I just trade, and I also build this business. But I really had to learn the psychological aspect. A lot of people, come onto these charts with the thought of chasing the money, but you have to understand that we attract this money. You have to understand that you have to come on here with a positive mentality, and that's the key reason why I focus so much on our mindset. Because if you come in here just trying to just chase money, you're probably going to take an emotional decision, an emotional risk. You're not going to be really playing everything that should be played together with all your confirmations. When I first started trading, I started, flipping a lot of money really fast, and I started going into that greed effect. So I'm going to teach you guys on really how to sustain that. The greed effect is pretty much when you see profits, and then you get so excited that you keep the profits rolling, but you don't really change the stop loss to a stop profit. You don't lock in those profits. We have to be able to lock in profits on a daily basis, so that way we could be profitable every single day. Then you're going to go through different types of things. If you've been going through a negative phase when it comes to the markets, you might have self-sabotage. You might have reached that euphoric stage of feeling that you could make all these trades because you might have got lucky with a couple of trades. But once you start having these bad trades, you start to really sabotage yourself and then wonder if this is for you. Well, guess what? It is. This is for everybody. And repetition is your reputation. So as long as you stay studying, as long as you stay on these charts, you're really going to be able to grasp the whole concept when it comes to the Forex markets. I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert or anything like that. but I have been able to learn from a lot of people, from a lot of mentors. And now all the stuff that I want to be able to give you guys here is all regurgitated information. I mean, this is all knowledge for you guys. USD JPY. This is all knowledge for you guys, so you guys could be able to be self-sufficient. I'm not really gonna give just like, hey, just signals of just buy this and sell that. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give forecasts. I'm gonna give you guys what I'm waiting for when it comes to trading, so that way you guys could understand this is all about setup. It's all about being patient. If we're patient, then you could accomplish a lot in the markets. So I'm gonna go over pretty much the basics. So what I want to show you guys right now is the TradingView platform, right? This is the platform that I use to pretty much mark up my charts. The reason being is, I just feel it's a lot more smoother here compared to MT4. Yes, I take the trades off my phone. I'm able to take the trades, through MetaTrader 4, but I use TradingView specifically so I could draw everything up. You could put lines here. You could put your support and resistance, which I'll break down. You could draw your zones real quick to see where price was respected, etc. You could pretty much do everything. I'll show you guys the tutorial pretty much for this whole thing, so you guys could become, self-sufficient when it comes to, just really trading, being able to see everything. Because once you draw things up, you're able to see the bigger picture behind everything and the reasons why certain things happens when it comes to the market, right? But let's go into the basics, right? So when you first come onto TradingView, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to go to your properties, right? One thing I do is I put on the session breaks. So you go to time scale and you click session breaks. As you can see, obviously went blank, but you go back, time scale, boom. What this does is shows you what happens within a time frame, right? When the market opens, like for instance right here, to when the market's pretty much done for the day, right? So you're able to see everything and it's able to break everything up. And it's a lot easier for you guys to be able to, just pretty much to see. The more it's broken up, the more you're able to see what happens on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? If I take a little break, I'm just going on the chat, just looking. Oh, awesome. All right, cool. So yeah, you're able to click session breaks. You're able to separate everything up so that way you can see pretty much what happened throughout the markets, right? Just to let you guys know what I am waiting for, just in case for all the advanced view that's on there, is I'm trying to see what's going to happen if it hits this zone. If it respects into the zone, this is just throwing it out there just in case it happens while I'm teaching. If it respects here and it confirms, then I'm going to take the trade. I'm going to buy it. That's only if it respects it there. If it breaks through, obviously I'm not buying it. Anyways, another thing that I want you to do, let me see this chat. All right. You either right click, or if you have a Mac, you just put 2 fingers, go to time scale, session breaks. Time scale, session breaks until you see it. All right. And then, all right, then the next thing I want you to do is, this is if you want. This is just the way I have my chart set up, because for me, I have to keep it vibrant. I have to keep it positive. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to see what everyone's typing in here. All right, guys. All right, so then I'm gonna go to properties, all right? Once I go to properties, what I do is I make my candles super, super bright. So that way it's just popping out the charts. That way, it just captures my attention. I'm able to see things at a more vibrant scale, all right? All right, when I go on properties right here, I'm able to go to background. What I do is on the vertical grid lines, what I'll do is I'll change the color to white. Whereas before, you're able to see it. So I'll just move this whole thing all the way to white. The horizontal grid lines, same thing. Usually it's right here. I'm gonna go all the way to white. What that does, it allows everything to be clear. You're able to see it and be clear. You know what I'm saying? Yo, unless you have like super serious questions, I'm just gonna keep going so that way I can show everybody everything, all right? Also too, so I'm gonna show you guys, you're able to see here on the top left, you're able to pick the different time frames. This is for the new people, so let's be respectable to the new people. But 1 hour means one candle represents 1 hour, okay? 30-minute means every single candle represents 30 minutes, and then it's self-explanatory from there. 15 minutes, it means that every single one of these candles represents 15 minutes, all right? Yes, it's a free tool. You just go to, you're able to go to tradingview.com and have a free account, all right? All right, cool. So now everything's all set up. You know, you have your period separators, everything's bright, everything is vibrant. Now what I'm gonna go over is just pretty much the basics, all right? The basics so that way you guys could understand, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna show you guys support and resistance, all right? Support and resistance is key when it comes to these markets because you can see areas where price was respected, right? So for example, if I click this right here, what I do is like, all right, so right here, there's an area where price was respected, right? What this is, when the market comes down and bounces and comes back up and then bounces off it, this is called support. Or you could even put in simpler terms, the ceiling. I mean the floor, my bad. That's resistance. So you're able to see it. You're able to go onto the charts and just look at where areas was respected, and you can see how it bounces, bounce, right? But what happens is once price breaks through and tests it and respect it, what this support does and it becomes resistance. The reason being is because it's now an act of a ceiling. All right. So I'll give another example. For instance, like on British pound against the US dollar, you have these areas where price was respected. You have these areas where price was respected down here. So this will be a lot better right here. So I could say this right here is the resistance, which is the ceiling. And right here is support. Now, when it comes to marking up charts, right, there's not like the right way. There's like a certain way of doing things, all that type of stuff. It's all about your perspective. Some people see things differently. I'm just showing you guys the way that I see it, the way that I was taught, the way that, you know, I learned myself. But what this does, it shows you an example of like how price, as you can see right here, was once support, but once it broke through and came back and tested, it now became the ceiling. And this is a pattern that's going to keep happening over and over again. I mean, this was once support, right? And now you're able to see that possibly if this comes up and tests up, this will be the ceiling, right? So that's pretty much support and resistance. You could be able to see that and even go on higher time frames and be able to draw this out and actually see more clear of areas where price was respected. Areas where price was respected. You know, areas where price was respected. And you could just go around and play around with the charts and pretty much draw it up yourself so that way you could actually see it for yourself. You know what I mean? Look, at one point this was respected here and now respected here. You know what I'm saying? All right, hold on. I'm trying to go back and forth to all the, all right. Like I said before, what I'm doing is I'm trying to see what's going to happen here. And if it respects in this area, obviously, you know what the next move is. I'm probably going to buy it, but it's depending if it respects. All right. Anyways, let's go back to the basics and learning everything because knowledge is key. I mean, if I was just on here and I just gave out signals and all that type of stuff, yeah, people would make money and all that type of stuff, but then they go being dependent on me. You know, what we're doing here is we're creating a community for you guys to learn so you guys could actually, you know, be able to, you know, trade yourself. So even if I wasn't around, you could be there, right? So that's pretty much support and resistance. You know, you're able to draw these lines and then just, these are just imaginary lines where price was respected. Obviously, if you see like this, you don't really know what's going on, but just by drawing the lines and the support and resistance, you're able to see a little more clear picture of areas where price is respected. So that way, if it ever does come back to those points again, you could be able to see what it does, see if it tests, you know? you're able to see a clearer picture, obviously. Boom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm pretty much just gonna go over the basics and teach you guys the key fundamentals, all that type of stuff. And then I'll teach you how, when we combine it together, on how you could actually trade. I mean, how you could actually put this into play so you know exactly what to do. All right. Now what I'm gonna go over is supply and demand zones, right? Well, supply and demand zones is pretty much what it does is it's gonna show you guys little price reversal zones where price struggled. But what I want to show you guys is how crazy and how simple this is and how you could really trade with these zones, right? And be able to be profitable on a daily basis. So the way I draw zones real quick is like what I'll look on the hour chart is I'll look at areas where, you know, price, you know, was once came down and just reversed, right? You can see these little wicks, right? These little wicks right here. And what I'll do is I'll show an example, right? The way that I was able to learn was I would find out areas, right? I would find out areas where price reversed, right? I'm gonna show you guys an example on this right here. Areas where price reversed. Areas where price reversed. Price reversed. Hold on, guys. All right, I'm gonna go over education, right? So you see areas where price reversed, right? So what I did was when I back tested, right? When I back tested, I would go look to see to my left, was there a zone where this respected? I was like, all right, well, let me draw this up. Is there a zone? You can see, look, wick to the candle. So if you look at this right here, from the wick to the candle, that means an area where price came up and then reversed real quick. Look how easy that respected. Look how accurate you could actually get this, right? Areas where price respected, right? So look right here, this will be crazy. So there's a wick right here and go to the body of the candle. So wick to the body of the candle, and look how crazy how price respected there. Price respected it here, even respected it here before it took off again, right? I'll do another one. There's one right here, right? Now, here's a little trick that I would do just to see it in the future. I will take this, I go from the wick to the candle, right? I would take the little setting thing right here. Let me move this right here. And I would just go to coordinates. I go to the second bar number, and I'll just type in 1,000. What that does, it just shoots it into the future, right? So when it shoots into the future, you're like, all right, respect. Look at that. How would you know that was just gonna be perfect? Like, you see this? Zones are very simple to draw. You just find areas where price came in and hurry up and left. So that way you could be able to, you know, take those trades. So that's pretty much how you draw zones, you know? You're able to do that pretty much everywhere just to see where price is respected. As you can see, boom, price is respected there, boom, boom, boom. It gets to a point where it becomes very, very simple. And once it becomes very simple, you're able to draw these zones out and see how easy it is to trade off of these zones, you know? It's all about marking up your charts. And if you take the time to really just mark up these charts, you can see that a lot could happen. So there's one right here. So there's a zone right here because price struggled here, right? And you're able to look, it respected here, and you could have sold it. And if you sold it, you would have made at least 229 pips. All right, so support and resistance, right? It's pretty much lines where price is respected, right? You see how it plays into the bigger picture? You're able to draw this out, and now you have double confirmation. You have a zone, and you have resistance, and you have support, etc. Now, what this does is support and resistance are just imaginary lines where price, you know, bounces off and respects. Well, these right here, this well, you could call this right here, even though it's supply and demand, right? You could also call it price reversal zones. What it does, it allows you to really watch and see how it plays out, right? See how it plays out, so that way you could be able to take these trades. You know what I'm saying? See how price is respected into those zones. It's as simple as that. Does that make sense so far for supply and demand? Yes, H1, H1. All right, so right now I'm going over the simple concepts right now, right? So let's take it one step at a time so that way we could all go through there. I went over support and resistance. Now we're going over zones. I'm gonna give another example again, right? So look, check it. So market came up, got it reversed real quick, and it made these wicks, right? If I draw a zone from the top of that wick to that breakout to the candle, right? You're able to see where price even respected into that zone. Make sense? Let's do another one. I'm gonna just do these so that way you guys could actually see it, right? So I see an area where price came up, reversed. Look, there's wicks here. I'll do that. I'll draw it to the candle. And you just test this out on different areas where price reversed. I'll type in 1,000 so it shoots into the future. Let's see. Does it respect? Yeah. Look. It's all about back testing. You know, what I did was I would go back and I'll see where market reversed and exactly why it happened. Then I look why it happened and I found out that there are zones in these areas. I found out how simple it was after a while. You know, how I could have just entered just because of this one zone. You know what I mean? So just because of drawing this out into the future, you could have took a trade here. You could have collected a quick 41 pips there. You could have took a trade here. You could have collected a potential of around 297 pips. And you could have took a trade off here. And you could have made a potential of, you know, about 540 pips. You know what I'm saying? And that was all drawn up just from one area where price reversed, made these wicks, and I drew a zone all the way across. And I was just patient enough to wait to see what happened, right? I'm watching this, guys, just to see. All right, so like I said before, when you draw these zones, it's all about back testing, which means that you have to go onto the charts and just test things out. Watch. You can just test things out just to see. You know what I'm saying? You can see where areas where price was respected and didn't really make a move. I could just draw one right here and just see, put it out into the future. Is there any areas where price respected it? Yeah, boom. There's one, there's 2, 3, 4, respected here and then dropped. And all I did was just pick a random area where price was respected. You know what I'm saying? That's how simple that this is. It's all about back testing, back testing, back testing, back testing, back testing, going back into the charts and actually testing this out. Right now, I'm just showing you guys how to mark these up on charts. You could draw this anywhere. So say, for instance, USD JPY. Look at this. Boom. Let me delete this for you guys. Delete that. So clear charts. Let me go on the 1 hour so you guys can see. All right, boom. You see it's dropping. Like I said, I'm going to see what it does in this area. If it respects, then I'll just buy it. All right, so look at this. You want to draw zones? Simple. You had opportunities where you could have gone into trades there. Even though these wicks came up, you could have patiently just waited and you had opportunities of where you could have entered trades by just drawing out these zones. You had the potential, if you took this trade, and making around 59 pips. Now, if this stays here and it balances off and it comes and bounces off this channel, this is a simple way of trading right there because you just collect 50 pips here, 50 pips there, 50 pips there. All right, I'm watching UJ because there's a zone right here that I drew and I want to see if it respects it in this area. It's about being patient. if it respects it in that area, and there's an act of support as well, and it's throughout London session when it's moving, right? And if you go on the 15-minute, you can wait for a double retest. It's just a confirmation of entering the trade. You just watch it. Like, you see how it came in here and respect the zone. These wicks try to break through it and then it didn't, and then try to break through it and then it didn't. It was respected. Look, these zones, it's like there's no crazy answer. Just like, this is exactly the way it is because this is the way that it is. This is Forex, right? It's all about the psychological aspect of how you trade. So if I just drew this zone right here and I saw that it respected and touched and it broke through, then I could have sold it. You know what I'm saying? If I was watching this right here, like, say you just delete this whole thing, and I just wanted to draw the zone from like right here to right here, right? Like I said, what I say, from the wick just to the candle. Areas where price just type this into the future, boom, you can see another example. It's simple. It's very simple. It's all about being patient. So what I did here was, say for instance, if I was getting ready for a trade, I saw that market was moving down. When I look to my left, is there a zone there? Yeah, there's a zone down here where price wick came down and then just reversed real quick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see what it does at this time when it's in here and if it's going to respect it. So I put an active support here, an active support here, and then you just watch it. You see if it respects that. If it does, then that's just confirmation that is going up. That's what Forex is. It's pretty much just being patient and waiting for the next move. Oh, you just right click it and remove it, right? Awesome. So I hope that makes sense so far. And you can see, I could go back and back test and even show you guys on how simple these zones are and how it's so easy to enter these trades, you know? It could be tested anywhere pretty much. You just have to be able to go back into the charts and just draw it out. Once you draw it out, you're able to see, you know what I'm saying? Even if I just did a zone right here, you can see respected boom went up, respected here, even if it went up for a little bit. And I'm gonna show you guys how to minimize your guys' losses. I mean, how to really take care of everything so that way. All right, I'm trying to make sure that I answer everybody's stuff, right? For everybody that got on that's like wondering if there's any trades or whatever, all I said was I was waiting to see if this is going to respect this zone. If so, I will buy it if it respects this zone. If it shows confirmation that it's going to respect this active support. And if it does and it confirms, then I'll take the trade. But for now, I'm just being patient and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting and I'm just waiting. Just waiting. And then you just wait. That's what Forex is. You're pretty much just waiting. So say, for instance, I'm going to give an example right here for GU, right? Look, right here's an area where price was respected, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wait just to see if it comes in here and it respects in here and there's an act of support as well. To see what it does. If it respects it, then cool. Then you buy it. That's what Forex is. It's just waiting for the confirmation to pretty much enter the trades, you know? What would you take as a confirmation that the zone has been respected? If it comes in here and it bounces off and respects, you go on the 30-minute just to pretty much see everything. But you just watch it. I'm just watching. I'm just being patient. You know, I'm one of those people now that if it came here, reverse and went up, then whatever, I missed the trade. But if it came in here and respect did exactly what I thought I'd do, then I'll take the trade. You know, I'm not the person that's gonna, you know, chase trades and everything like that. Yeah, I'll check news and stuff like that. But for people that are just beginning, just stay away from the news for now and focus on the key fundamentals and the basics of it, because I only focus on GU and UJ for now. So I'm just showing you guys right now. I'm just pretty much just marking up the charts for you guys so you guys can see and have the education for everything, right? So hopefully that makes sense so far for zones, etc. You know, you're able to see this everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. See, I see a little wick right here. I'll draw the wick to the body of the breakout candle. Came all the way across, perfectly respected. Pretty simple. I just draw everything on the 1 hour. I'm that type that like I'll trade on a daily basis, but the thing is like I like to balance in my life. You know, I realize when it comes to the forex charts, you have to have a clear mind because having a cluttered, you know, if you have cluttered space, you have a cluttered mind. I mean, you want to create balance in all aspects of your life. No, I don't look for long wicks. I just look for wicks in general. I mean, just to pretty much see if there's areas where price will respect it. Respect. You know what I'm saying? So, but now you guys can see on an example. So, for instance, say for instance that you're waiting for a trade here, right? You kept watching this come all the way up. If you just looked to your left to see if there was a zone and drew it and saw that it respected there, you could have sold it there because it respected that zone. Now, if you want more confirmation, you can draw an act of what this used to be support, which is now newfound resistance, aka this used to be this floor and now it's the ceiling. Saw that it respected twice because each one of these wicks means that it tapped it once and tapped it twice. You could have sold it and you could have had a potential of 200 pips and then bounced off the zone and then bounced off again, came back into the zone and then bounced off again. Simple. It's crazy. Watch this. Little wick right here, right? There's a wick right there. It's all the way to the candle. Watch what happens if you shoot it into the future. Look, it respected there. So you could have bounced back and forth and caught a quick 80 pips up, and then the huge pips coming down. Hopefully that makes sense so far. All right, cool. Let's see what this 30-minute candle does. It comes down and respects down here. I'm still waiting. I still wouldn't enter yet. I'd rather wait for a confirmation. What a lot of people do is they'll see stuff, right? They'll see stuff, right? And they'll see that it's like doing this already, but they don't wait for the candle to close. The best thing to do is to wait for the candle to close so that way you can see exactly where it's going. Because imagine if you did see this go up and you bought it, but all of a sudden it starts drawing down. Now you're in the negative, and then you blow out an account, you're over leveraging your account or something, and you're just like, damn, like I really wish that I would have just waited. So I just wait. I honestly just wait to show the confirmation. If I see that it comes down and it tests off support, comes back up and then tests off support again right here, then that's it. That's the easy buy. And obviously the next zone is probably up here. So even if you took the trade and waited for a confirmation, you could have the potential at least anywhere from 50 to 67 pips, right? But I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I've done before to really help me trade and for me to really get better at trading. What I would do is I'll look at the right time frames and when to trade. Now, I usually only trade London session. Yeah, I use the scanner as a resource and as a tool and as another confirmation for these trades. So what I would do is I'll look at literally the real right time frames to trade. And I started noticing throughout London session that I will see if market was going up, I look to the left and I find a zone. If I saw a market was coming down, I look to the left and I saw a zone. What I do is I pretty much just clear up all my charts, right? Here's an example right now. If I saw that market was coming down, is there a zone to my left? Yeah, there's a zone right here. So like I said, I'll just be patient and I'll just wait to see what it does if it comes into the zone. Easy, simple as that. I'll give another example. Market starts coming down. It's around London session. I look to my left. I see if there's a zone, right? Where was it at? Right there. Look to my left. I see was there a zone? I'm waiting. This is around London session right here, right? Just look to my left. Now, when you notice that when you move this around these crosshairs, you can see a horizontal and a vertical line. So use that as a reference. Boom. Next you know, it's around London session. I look to my left. Wait, look. All the way over here, there's a zone. I would have literally watched it, just literally respect into this area. And then I would have took a trade and just collected 175 pips potentially, right? Same thing. This comes up. This is around London session. I look to my left. Is there a zone? So if I see right here, this is all that's happening right now. I look to my left. Is there a zone? There's literally a zone right in front of your face, literally right here. I respected it, and then it dropped. And look how far it dropped. It dropped all around 80 something pips. Then when it came down, you look to your left, right? Is there a zone? Look right here. It started coming down, watching it. You respond to the market. Yeah, there's a zone right here. So what you're doing, you're just being patient. You're just watching, seeing where it's going. That's how simple it is. Another example. I'm just gonna keep giving examples because repetition is your reputation, right? So market's going up. Here. So you guys can see better. Market's going up. Market comes up. Look to your left. You see the horizontal line. Boom, zone. Draw it out. Let's see if it respects. Yeah, perfectly respects. And you could have sold it easily. Easily. So is that making sense so far, guys? Hopefully it's making sense to you guys. Giving some clarity to everything so you guys could see how this works. Awesome. Awesome. Perfect. I'm gonna show you guys how I enter trades and everything. Say if I do enter a trade, so that way you could not really risk anything at all. You know, one thing that I do that I pride myself on is like when I first started trading, this is how here, I'll show you guys right now. I'll give you guys an example. All right. Let me delete this. All right. So say for instance, what time is it? All right, cool. Say for instance, this was coming down, right? I say, all right, well, let me look to my left. Is there a zone in that area? Yeah, I see a zone right here. Now, say for instance, I did take this trade and it did come down. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys like this. Say I entered the trade right here. Then my stop loss is right here, right? And then say I wanted to see where the next area is, where I could possibly take my profit at. I look for the next zone. So say, for instance, if I did take this trade, I could just guarantee myself 58 pips. I like to take profit, right? So say, for instance, this red line right here, you see this? Is your entry. And this is just to say if I was buying it, all right, guys? Now, right here is a stop loss, right? Sorry, let me move this down for you guys, my bad. So entry, stop loss, right? The moment that this moves up, minimum 15 pips, I change this, I move my stop loss up, and this now becomes a stop profit. So now I have an entry, I have a stop profit, I bought it, but it's already in profit. So even if it comes up and reverses, even if I fell asleep, even if I was using the bathroom, if I decided to go to the gym in the middle of the night, it doesn't matter. No matter what happens, I'm in profit. I'm not risking any of my money. Does that make sense? All right, this is how you count pips. Go to the left here to this little ruler thing, click it, click on an area, and then drag it up. You're able to see how many pips everything is. Let's look at GU. Still being patient. Still being patient, right? I'm just waiting. All right. Does that make sense so far on what I do when you enter your trades? If I get stopped out, it doesn't matter to me. I didn't lose any money, but that's up to you guys. I'm just letting you guys know what I do, so that way I can lock in my pips. Once this starts going up more in profit, then you just trail it. And that's when this becomes what? Everybody knows this. It's called a trailing stop. What this does, it locks in your profits. So say for instance, this comes all the way up here. Just comes all the way up. The whole time, I'm just going to be dragging this up. Boom. Have a trailing stop. Say, for instance, price is all the way up here, right? How much pips did I already lock in profit, just in case if the market does reverse? 60. There you go. All right. Hopefully this makes sense so far. I'm trying to recap, go over everything real quick. That way we can have it refresh in our mind so it could be ready. Look what market's doing right now. I'm literally watching it. Now it's going into this zone. Let's see if it respects. If it respects, then what do? We're gonna buy it. If the market, respects it. So the trading stop on change the stop loss, so you make profit. Now this is what you do. When you take a trade, say for instance, you took a trade here to sell it, right? And this was your stop loss. So this was your entry price right here. This was your stop loss. Now what I do is when I go on my MetaTrader 4, I go to my stop loss, and if it's in profit, I change that number to like somewhere here, which is like what? Around, I'm not good at math. Around like six to 7 pips in profit. All right. So that's what I do. If my stop loss is here, and I took a trade here and I sold it, the moment it started going in profit, I would have changed this and I would slowly drag it down just to see. You know what I'm saying? Is that making sense so far, guys? Awesome, awesome. I'm just trying to break it down in simple terms for you guys so you guys can see. As you can see, price right now is in this zone. What I'm trying to see is if it's going to respect. And if it does, then cool, I can buy it. If not, and it breaks through, this is what I would wait for. If it did, say for instance, it did, I'm trying to zoom this out. My chart's all messed up right now. If it does break through, what I'll do is I'll wait for it to come back up and retest this support as a newfound resistance. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So, but look at that. Now, what most people would have done is that they did draw the zone and they took this trade off a buy, they would be negative right now because guess what? They weren't being patient. They weren't being patient. I know a lot of people that would have been enticed to look at it and be like, oh my gosh, it's in the zone. I should buy it right now. Well, guess what? If you bought right now, you would have been in drawdown. And if you're doing a high leverage, you would have lost a lot of money. Whereas if I waited, now I can see is if even on the 15-minute chart, it was going to break through and create a wick, and I want to see what it does next. That way I could confirm this trade and I could take this trade. You know what I mean? I'm just being patient with it. Never take a trade while a candle's still going. Because if you take a trade while the candle's still going, look at this right here. This literally went up and faked people out around almost 30 pips. And if you bought it, you're like, oh, it's going, and you bought it here, Look how quickly it drew down. You know what I'm saying? It's all about being patient, guys. Wait for the candle to close. No, for me, I just take instant execution. I like taking instant execution. So it'll be a lot easier for me to enter the trades. Hopefully that makes sense so far. GU is still in the zone. I'm waiting to see what it does. If it does respect in this area and it confirms, then obviously I'll be able to take the trade. You know what I'm saying? All right, for sure. Is that making sense so far, guys? All right, cool. So like I said, I'm being patient and I'm waiting. I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting to see what's up. In the meantime, let's recap real quick, right? Because I know a lot of people want to mark up these charts. A lot of people want to be able to test out all this different type of things. Honestly, are there times where this method doesn't work? The only times things don't work is if you write down your confirmations, right? Say for instance, watch. Like even so simple as this: supply and demand, support and resistance, right time frames, aka London session in New York, and then double retest is support and resistance. It's like even if you no, what I'm doing is I'm waiting to see if it's going to double retest. So what happens is I'll take this, I'll put an active support here. There's a wick right there, and then I'll see what happens like right here. And what I'll do is I'll look, even if you want to look I look at the 30-minute just to see what happens, right? Or some people want to look in the 15-minute, they can, and they can wait for it to do something like this right here, where it tested 1, 2, 3 times before it dropped, right? What you're doing is you're just patiently waiting to see if it's going to retest in that area. Because sometimes what I'll do, look how this came up and then retested and then went up. Cool. Some people will see this, they'll see it test once, they'll come up and then it drops again. You know what I'm saying? You got to wait for that second retest. Oh, I'm reading your guys' chat right now. Yeah, so pretty much, like I said, let's go into like GU. What I'm waiting for right now is I'm seeing what's gonna do in the zone. If it respects this zone, then I'll buy it. Cool. Same thing with UJ. Obviously, you see it breaking through right now. If people jump the gun and then they bought it real quick, obviously they'll be negative right now, and that's the reason why we're just being patient. We're just watching to see what it does. Because who knows? Maybe the next candle on the 15-minute will be a super green one that just comes all the way up and it engulfs this whole entire candle here. And now you can be able to take this trade. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be doing London and New York for these 3 days. So that way everybody gets 100% of all the information. Like I said, my routine, I'll wait. I'll see where market is going and I'll respond. It's coming down. Is there a zone? Yes, there's a zone and an active support. I draw this out. Now I watch what happens here. I see if it's going to respect it. If it stays within the zone and respects it, then I'll enter the trade easily and then I'll be able to buy it and I'll be able to make profit. It's all about being patient. Same thing with GU. I would have just waited and been patient just to see if it's going to respect this zone. And if it does, then I'll buy it. But I got to make sure it's hitting a zone, it's hitting either support resistance, it's the right times, aka London session or New York. I double retest the support and resistance. And there's my confirmation so that way I could be able to enter the trades. right? It's a lot easier. You guys will be able to see. You know, I want to show you guys the basics right now and get everybody going so they could be able to see what's going on. You mean? And then to even make it better, you can even count certain levels. 1, 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? You're able to see 1 rise, 2 rise, drops down, 3, and 4. I mean, you're able to count levels. So what this does, it allows you, watch. You start to see a pattern within the markets and create, you know, market structure. It'll always rise and fall minimum 3 times, and sometimes it'll do it a 4th time. Simple. Boom. Makes it move up. You see how I can actually count? And the way that I count is by creating higher highs, lower lows. There's always going to be a zone, honestly, where it's going. There's always going to be a zone. What a lot of people do is they'll be like, if it's in the middle here or something like this, they're like, all right, is there a zone to the left? It's like, yo, be patient. Look where areas where price was respected. Look at areas where price reversed. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, you know what I mean? The way that looks like right now is just price is about to shoot down, but it's all about being patient. We still got 4 minutes, right, before this closes, and then we're able to see what happens next. You're saying it's all about being patient, guys. Patience is key. There's always a zone. There's always zones. And the thing is, you have to literally test it out and back test everything so you guys can see everything. I don't know why it's doing this right now. Let's go to G again. There's always zones. And the thing is, it's all about being patient and waiting for it to hit those zones. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying right now is like perfect timing for you guys to be able to see, as an example, that market came up, came down, starts coming to the left. I'm able to see, is there an area where price, you know, easily reversed? And yeah, right here, you know, you're able to look and wait so that we could confirm. You know what I'm saying? So when I look for a zone, as you can see, these are wicks. That means price came in and struggled and got out. Price came in and struggled and got out. Price came in and struggled and got out. You know what I'm saying? So these are areas where price struggled, pretty much. Price struggled right here, right? You're able to see it, wick to candle. Look, price struggled, even came up, touched it, touch it, touch it, touch it, should touch it, and touch it, and then you're able to look again over here. Look, wick. You mean it takes a lot of back testing, guys. Like a lot of back testing and looking at these charts to really see where price is respected. And you can start seeing it to the point where, as if you didn't see anything here before, and you drew this out because you saw that price respected and came out and reversed real quick, and you shot this out into the future, and then you saw this happen and touch, and you're like, oh, wow, I could have sold it there, boom. Oh, wow, like, look, where price is struggling. Look where price is struggling. You know what I'm saying? It's all about back testing, guys. There's no secret, like, the definite answer. There's just concepts and principles when it comes to the Forex markets. I mean, you just have to back test, back test, back test, back test, back test. Yes, I'll use trend lines here and there. So that way you could actually see, you know, see the trend, everything like that. But mainly I just trade off zones to see where price was respected. You know what I mean? Combined with support and resistance. And you can see how far back. No, it doesn't have to be that far back. It's just whatever relevant in this time frame. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to like go all the way back over here and stuff because that's crazy. I mean, even when I do like support and resistance, there's no point of me like drawing it up all the way over here, and then like over here, and then like over here, and then like over here, when price is like right here. You know what I'm saying? That's like, this is just me though. So I'll delete this stuff because, you know, cluttered space is cluttered mind. I just keep it to a point where wherever price is in that general vicinity. So price is like right here, anywhere from like here and up and over, pretty much that area I'll pretty much take care of. All right, respect means if you draw a zone, you see how it respected here? You saw how it respected here? Saw how it respected here? Even right here, this little zone right here, price respected here when I was dropping. Let's do another example. Like I said before, when you drew from the wick to the body, there you go. You saw how it respected right here. You're able to go back test and just pretty much watch how all these zones are pretty much drawn out. The success rate when it comes to this stuff, if you're being patient, you should be able to be successful majority of the time because you're just watching. You're just being patient. You're just being patient, and then you're just watching. You don't really enter the trades unless you have the confirmations of what you're going to do in the first place, right? I'm only going to be going over support, resistance, supply and demand, level counting, and time frames. I wanted to make sure that everybody had, you know, the right settings when it comes to trading views. So you guys have vibrant, you guys are able to see it. But so far, hopefully this helps with, you know, the basics so that you guys could be able to understand on how to enter trades. Now, even when I said that I'd enter trades, you guys now know stop losses, stop profits, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And right now I'm just being patient. And for respects, I'm buying. And I'm letting you guys know that this is just a forecast. I'm not going to be giving off signals because that means you guys will be dependent and reliant on me for, you know, signals. You know what I mean? And the thing is about signals is you're only as good as your last signal, correct? But what if you guys know a chart analysis? What if you guys know how to draw up the charts? What if you guys know how to be able to come here and be able to mark up a chart on your phone, right? And mark up a chart on your laptop and be able to see everything and draw everything out to paint the picture of what Forex is. You know what I'm saying? That helps a lot. So right now we're sticking to the basics because we have some new people. We want to be able to go over everything, but this was enough knowledge. And I'm going to give another example real quick, right? Market comes up, right? And I'm seeing that market's coming up. I look to my left. Is there a zone? Yes. Let me give more examples. You mean? Right? So market right here, you're able to see, let me move this little template thing. Sorry, guys. You see that market is coming up. It's around London, almost London, right? Let's look to the left. You're able to see there's a zone right there. Same thing here. You just adapt to the markets and you literally just watch what's going on. If you see that the market is coming down, you look to your left, is there a zone over here? Yeah, there's a zone. You know what I mean? It's all about, you should be more on the charts than trading. You know what I'm saying? So what people don't understand all the time is the fact that they always wonder, how did I become so self-sufficient when it comes to all this type of stuff? Well, I just kept studying and studying and studying. No, like I said, so right before London session, an hour before London session starts, what I'll do is I'll look where price is, right? Now, if I look where price is, so look right here, this is around 2 o'clock, this is around like near London, right? This is London, right? I see where price is, and I look to my left, and I see a zone right here, right? And I see how it respects into the zone. I could even look at, you could just, it came in here, bounced off, and then came back up. I could have easily taken this trade and collected 100 pips. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm watching it right now. This is being patient. The markets aren't going anywhere. There's no reason why to rush. There's no reason why to rush trades. If you rush trades, it gets to a point where it's like, oh, I gotta hurry up and get in on it. Or, oh, I gotta hurry up and get in on it. Or I have to hurry up. Like, honestly, patience is key because you're able to see more of what, like, when you're patient and you're watching and you're being patient, you're letting the Forex markets pretty much show their cards. It's kind of like poker. I mean, you're letting them show you the cards. You're letting them show the next move. I mean, when you're letting them see the next move, like imagine this right here. You know what I mean? Like this coming down here, coming back up, and you bought it because it kept going up, but then you're patient to see what was going to happen during London session and saw that it started coming down. You could have easily been able to be ready just in case if it was going to reverse into the zone. You know what I mean? Same with GU. You're watching to see if it's going to reverse into that zone. It's simple. It's all about being patient. This is forecast, guys. This is forecast. If UJ breaks, I literally said if it breaks, what I would do is I'll let it fall. I'll see what happens if it comes in a retest, this newfound act of resistance, and then I'll sell it. But what happens if it breaks through, retraces, that means it respected this line of support. Do you see why you have to be patient? Do you see why you have to be patient when it comes to this? If it broke through this whole thing and it comes down, then it comes back up and tests this newfound act of resistance and then drops, then you can sell it. But what if it comes down, breaks through, then retraces all the way back up? That means that this is still a zone that was respected. So it's all about being patient. I know this, guys. I see it. Patience, guys. There's no reason to rush. So what I'm literally letting you guys know now is the fact that if it does respect in the zone, I will buy it. If this does respect in the zone, I will buy it. But that's only for respects. But that's pretty much, I went over psychology. I went over the basics. You guys got the period separators. The colors, the time frames. You guys understand this. I broke down the support and resistance. I'll do a quick recap. Support and resistance, pretty much lines where, price is respected and that you can see and have it here just in case if price does come to those points to see if it respects. And if it does, then you know that that's a very, very strong area and a very strong price reversal area. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. We've been on here for about an hour. I want everybody to be able to go onto the charts, back test, draw. GU is just in the zone. I'm just waiting to see what happens when it touches support. On UJ, what I'm doing is I'm trying to see what happens. This is a 1 hour candle right now. So obviously you can't really dictate. It's only been 7 minutes of the hour. So you look at the 30-minute. I'm going to see what the 30-minute does. If it does respect, then possibly I'll buy it. But like I said, this is, I did explain stop loss, take profit, and trailing stop. All right, I'll do that one more time. So if I did take the trade here and say this was, let's go on GU. It's more clear. Say, for instance, this is my entry and this is my stop loss. Entry. What happens is, this is my entry. Here's my stop loss. The moment this started going in profit, I would just take this, and you could tell from the numbers here. Boom, boom. I would literally just take this and just drag it. Boom. And there it becomes a stop, profit. And if you keep moving it, it becomes a trailing stop. So you can just say stop, profit, or trailing stop. The way you do that is when you have your entry here and say this was your stop loss. Oh, sorry. This was your stop loss and you're able to see the numbers here. You're able to see the numbers of what it is. You're able to, you can move this easily, see what the number is to the right and put that as your stop loss number. Now it's your stop profit trailing stop, which means that if the market comes back up and reverses, you didn't risk any money anymore. You know what I mean? Guys, on this one, I'm only going over support resistance, supply and demand, level counting, and time frames. What I want you guys to know is pretty much the basics when it comes to all this stuff, because the basics combined together is advanced material. You're saying it's really allowing yourself to really understand. Look, just being patient. If you guys were if people rushed it to buy, they could see it. Look at this, 1 hour. Let's see what happens. If we have 20 minutes left, right, of a 30-minute candle. If this is very possible that this could keep dropping, or this could turn into a wick. And if it does keep dropping, and like I said, I would wait for it to come down, retest again, and then I would sell it again. It's all about watching it. The icon to count the pips is right here. It's a little ruler. You click it, you're able to take it, you're able to count how many pips it is, right? So, like I said, UJ, I was waiting to see if it was going to respect so I could buy it. If it didn't and it kept dropping, well, guess what? I didn't lose any money. I didn't risk anything. Then I look at another pair, GU. GU right now is respecting in a zone. Let's see what happens. If it respects here, then I buy it. That's the whole point of me pretty much, you know, having two pairs ready to go. And I focus only on two pairs. You only need one pair a night to really make money. You don't have to be a person that just takes 10 different trades off 10 different pairs and then you're just really like, okay, well, some will lose and then some will profit, etc. You know, you want to be able to be profitable. Find the one that looks best for you. If it doesn't look good, like this one, if it keeps falling down, well, we missed that trade, whatever. We could have sold up here, but guess what? I don't trade during these time frames anyways. So it's all right. It's okay. There's other pairs. This is Forex. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm going to watch what GU does and wait for a confirmation to see if it's going to reverse here in this area. If not, then whatever. We always have tomorrow. But the main point is that way you could focus on really understanding the art of this whole thing and drawing this stuff up so you guys feel more comfortable when you press that button to buy, when you press that button to sell. That's the whole main point of this whole thing. So you guys could get 100% of all the information and be ready and good to go. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back on for New York session. I'll be back on there teaching the basics and everything, seeing if there's any setups, seeing if maybe by that time, if UJ is falling, if it's ever going to reverse, we could see then. But for now, if this 30-minute candle closes below, then it's whatever, unless it retraces back up. If GU respects in the zone, it's very simple. I'm just going to buy it. If it breaks through, it's fine. New York session should be around 8 o'clock Eastern. So I'll be there. But hopefully you guys, I hope you guys appreciate this. I'm trying to break it down as much as possible in simpler terms. I'm trying to make everybody happy as much as possible. If you guys have any feedback, obviously you guys got my Facebook, all that type of stuff. And I'll be able to be here and give you guys as much knowledge as possible. I love you guys a lot. I love IML. I love this company. I love the culture that we're bringing. It's just Christopher Derrick, DERRICK, and it all rises and falls on us. You know, we're all here learning together. This is a good community. Let's stay close. We're a huge family. I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the night. Let's see if GU respects his zone. If so, then I'm going to buy it. But if not, then it's whatever. We'll see what happens in New York. It's all about being patient. The Forex markets ain't going anywhere, guys. The Forex markets ain't going anywhere, so you don't have to rush this stuff out. But appreciate you guys. You guys have a good night. All right, peace.